All right, so we made a holder, phone holder, and we got the holder leg and the front of the holder we did in the past videos. And so just as a reminder, we're making this chair looking thing here. So we're going to assemble it. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go over here to this assembly tab, click insert, front of holder. So I left click and then holder leg. I'm just going to throw it over here, left click. I'm going to click the check mark. If you click the X, they're going to disappear. So I'm going to click the green check. And now I have two parts in here. So I can left click and drag them around and move them around. Not super helpful. I'm going to kind of sort of line them up. So I'm going to click on, you can click on the parts. I'm going to click on this little handle here and change the angle. Do I need to change the angle? I don't, but it's just handy for me to start playing around and visualize what I'm going to do. So we won't spend too much time dealing with mates. Mates can get a little complicated, and we're just kind of getting started, but we'll explore it a bit here. So we're going to do this using mates, and there's quite a few different ways to consider how to do the mate. We're going to use as simple as possible for now. We're going to use this thing called planar mate. So basically this just allows two surfaces to be mated together on planes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, first, I want the plane here to be mated with the back of my holder. So I just clicked both of those. And you'll see that it just kind of jammed it through because it has no idea of physics. Keep in mind that it's not detecting collisions. It's just doing whatever you tell it to do. So I'm going to click the green check. That looks absolutely terrible. And if I were to X out of the planar mate, you can see that if I try to move things around, they move around, but you notice that this face down here always remains on the same plane as the back of the phone. Well, that's great, but we need another constraint in here so that they mate up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to planar mates a couple more things. I'm going to mate the bottom here. So I'm going to just hover over the whole thing. I want that plane to mate with the bottom of the slot. So I'm going to click in here. Boom. And that's not bad. I'm just going to click the green check. Until you click the green check and then you see, oh, that looks pretty good. But it's not quite there, right? So look what happens now. Oh, that's great. So it remains roughly in the slot. So I'm left clicking and clicking on the part and dragging around. So it's almost right, but it moves back and forth between places in the slot here. So what do I want? Well, I'm going to pick one of the sides here. One of the sides of the slot I want to be mated together. So let's do a planar mate. So make sure we're in planar mate. And I see planar in here. So I'm going to do inside. And I'm going to pick the side. Make sure you zoom in with your scroll wheel. So side. And we'll see what that looks like. So something that can give you a sneak preview of what it's going to look like is click solve. And it will give you a visual of what's happening in there. That looks pretty darn good. Things look mated together. I'm going to click the green check. Cool. So that's not half bad. And if I look at the side view here, I can see, wow, that's pretty darn good. We can add another mate, which we'll do maybe in a future video. It looks like I've got an error. Oh, I need to click out of this. Let me X out of this. There we go. Future video and actually putting a surface down here so that you can play around with your different components to edit a little bit more. But that looks pretty darn good, so I'm going to go with it, and we'll leave it there. So check out some of the future videos. You want to do some more advanced changes to our design and play around with it. But thanks for listening.